Good afternoon, ladies and gents. Thank you so much for joining us for this quarterfinal post-match press conference. We've got Chelsea Sharks head coach Sean Everitt. We'll start with questions here on the floor and then go to the guys online. We'll take hands. Boo, you can shoot first.
Sean, seems like you've had back-to-back disappointed games, but to go down with a drop goal right at the end, how would you surmise the way in which that has come down?
Yeah, I think if you look at the log positions, that tells the story itself. You know, up until the last round of the pool stages, there, we didn't know who was playing who in the quarterfinals, and obviously there was opportunities for us, if you go back to the game before, to be able to finish second, and we didn't take that opportunity. It's very difficult to run away from home in this competition, and as Munster found out last night. So yeah, there's been a lot of learnings, there's been a lot of growth from the individuals, but to be quite honest, the team's hurting downstairs in the changing room. I'm extremely disappointed, and I'm just proud of the guys and the effort that they showed and the character to come back from where they were in the game.
I'm also proud of the fact that you worked into the chance of these high-press finishes, with the chance of actually winning this game, coming so close. It's is it something before?
Yeah, I think we believe that if we could win today, we prepared really well. Unfortunately, there were a couple of soft moments, and I think this is what the competition's taught us. And I'm talking about us pressurizing the Bulls in the first 20 minutes, and not coming away with a reward and then leaking a soft try. I think that's been a bit of the story of our season. But yeah, like I said, I think all the South African teams have done well from where we were and how we finished off. And I think South African rugby is in a good space.
Ken?
Sean, I guess the finish though, that final quarter really puts to bed any questions over the team's character and even things like altitude. I mean, they clearly looked the stronger team at the end.
Yeah, I think at the end, as we know, it could have gone either way. I thought, maybe could have been a little bit more fortunate in the last 5 minutes. I thought we did well to hang on the ball, to put pressure on, to give away a penalty, to try and earn a penalty, which could have maybe turned the game in our favour, but it wasn't to be. This team has got tremendous character. This team never gives up. We saw that against Ulster. I think we all understand now what it takes to win away from home. The Bulls found out in the Rainbow Cup last year playing against Benetton how tough it can be. And we found it tough when we were on the road in the first 4 weeks of this competition. So it's never easy, but the Sharks believe that we can beat the Bulls at Loftus. And I think, maybe if we had executed a little bit better, and I'm talking about defence as well, maybe, the result would have been the other way around.
A little bit.
Well, Coach, like you said, again, with very small margins, team showed a lot of character, but to many people, the loss might still be a loss. Do you feel as if with the team with 9 Springboks in the starting lineup, against the Bulls team with 3, if I count correctly, do you feel as if this team achieved what it could, or do you feel as if now questions might be asked about your suitability for this particular job that you manage, such as star-standing shots?
Yeah, I suppose if you look at Springboks, you got to look at the World Cup winners. So you're talking about Mapimpi, Lucanio, Sia, Bongi, Ox. So yes, we do have a lot of Springboks in the team, and I thought those players individually stood up, and they stood up today, and we needed our big time players to stand, big name players to stand up today, and they could be proud of their efforts. It's a difficult one to answer because, like I said, this team's trying. It's a last pass that doesn't go to hand. It's, if you look at an example of that down the left touchline in the first half, we throw the ball forward. So, you've got to be really careful how I answer that one, because, the team's putting themselves into position to be able to score tries. And, we were right up there in the top 5 for try scores. So I think this team has done well. I think our balance that we're showing on the field has improved a lot. We're relying on our set piece to win games, but, we scored some great tries, and like we did tonight as well. So, or this afternoon. So, yeah, I'm proud of the game.
We'll go to Ken and then Kamiso.
Sean, you mentioned soft moments after that really tough first half where teams couldn't really be separated. You then concede 2 tries in the first 10 minutes of the second half. Was that a soft period for you, and ultimately how crucial was it?
Yeah, I think, to give when you when you plan the week, you talk about discipline to not give the Bulls possessions in your 22, and that's exactly what we did. The Bulls are really clinical when they're in your 22, and I think they've got the highest completion rate in the opposition's attacking 22. So, yeah, we knew it was going to be tough for us, and unfortunately, we conceded there. And I thought maybe we could have put up more of a fight over our goal line, and maybe worked a little bit harder in that area of the field.
Just to further elaborate on Kate's question, do you look at that first half as a part of the game that got away, considering that the ball, they had conservative position, and assertive territory, and yet the Bulls scored from shot system?
Yeah, it's a tough one because, you know, you're playing with ball in hand, you think the pass is on, you give away intercept. So, yeah, I suppose it's a bit unfortunate. You know, the last time we played at against the Bulls here at home, the Kanye scored an intercept try while the Bulls were attacking the goal. So it does work both ways. I think it's just about making the right decisions and being a little bit more patient with ball in hand.
When you look at this competition now, for the Sharks it's over, but there's the bigger carrot now of the announcement of the highest ranked athletic teams taking part in the Champions Cup. How do you now look forward to that with joy, and also now having to prepare better for now what you call three tournaments?
Yeah, you know, it's going to be a great challenge again. And I think, you know, one thing that I must say is that I think the players deserve a good rest now. Unfortunately, it's come a couple of weeks early. It's not what we had planned. The players have been non-stop since September 2020. You know, we're in our third Currie Cup campaign. And we played 2 Currie Cup finals last year. There was a Rainbow Cup, there's a Preparations Cup. And then we went from Currie Cup into URC double round. And we're sitting here 2 years later and we're still playing rugby. So I think the players need a good rest. I think the injury toll that amongst the franchises has taken its toll. Oh, sorry, could be caused by the fact that we haven't had an opportunity to do a preseason. So yes, there's lots of things that we need to work on. You know, we don't have our Springboks for the remainder of the year, probably until second week of December, because they play the last test match on the 27th of November. So it's a great opportunity for us to work with the younger players or some of the guys that got opportunities early in the competition and make them help them improve as individuals.
We'll take one from the floor and then go to the guys online. Any takers? All good. Nathan, you'll go first, and then Jan.
Thanks, Tapambi. Sean, unlucky there at the end. But now that the URC has come to an end for the Sharks, what were your takeouts in the campaign, both the good and the bad?
Yeah, I think, you know, you've got to look at where the Sharks have improved. And I think our set piece, as you saw today, has improved a lot. The guys are outstanding in that department today. I think things that we're going to have to work on is our attacking breakdown. Although we're squeaky clean up for the first 40 minutes, you know, it was our breakdown that led to giving the Bulls field position, and that was a problem for us against Ulster and in the 2 previous games against the Bulls. So that'll be a big work on for us. I think that the important thing is that we don't have to question players' characters. We don't have to look at our culture. We don't have to look at the environment we're creating, because they displayed that character on the field. They're proud to be Sharks players, and we need to fix the rugby side of things.
And then my final question, there have been movements around at other franchises with contract extensions and recruitment. Next season, possibly you'll have to field multiple teams simultaneously if you consider Currie Cup, Champions Cup, and URC. Should we expect more signings since there hasn't been a rule on the salary cap yet?
Yeah, well, at the moment, the URC franchises are only allowed 50 players. I think that's going to have to be addressed. You know, if you look at the Sharks today, we had to bring 26 players up to Pretoria, and we have to have 26 down in Durban. You know, that's 2 extra already. So where are the other players coming from? They're coming from our junior ranks, but at the same time, there's SA under 20 players that are preparing for a World Cup. So it does make it extremely difficult. And I don't think that we're the only franchise that are experiencing this at the moment. You know, I was chatting to Jake earlier, and he's experiencing the same problem. You just run out of numbers. It's a numbers game, unfortunately. And having 2 games on the same day played at different venues is extremely difficult.
Okay, we'll go to Jan, Ashfaq, Simon, and then Nathan, you'll be the last one.
Thank you. Sean, is basically just a follow-up on two questions that were asked earlier. The first one, obviously, we know that the Springboks are now going into international season. So how does your preparation, or what is this season? I know you spoke about giving the players time off because they need time off. So what does your preparation look? And then obviously a follow-on from the cap, the player cap, salary cap situation. Are these the kind of conundrums that's your biggest challenge now going ahead?
Yeah, I think, when we get home tonight, we report for work on Monday. There's a Currie Cup that we still need to compete in. I'm sure Etienne Finn will welcome some recruits, especially after today. They haven't kicked off yet, but we struggled to train well this weekend and prepare well in the Currie Cup. And then, if you look at the numbers in the squad, it's just something that, we need to chat to SA Rugby about on the capping of that. But sorry, to get back, I never finished answering the question with regards to time off. Yeah, the players will have probably from the end of the month, 3-4 weeks off, and then we'll be back and enjoying a pre-season, which we haven't had for some time.
Ashfaq?
Sean, you mentioned in terms of creating opportunities on attack and the balance in your play, you must have been encouraged by how the guys showed great initiative and an attacking mindset, holding onto the ball. You're getting there almost close to the line, and sometimes you did finish, but going forward into the next competitions and next season, it's really encouraging to see.
Yeah, like I said, I enjoyed watching the game. Funny, there was a lot of pressure. I think Jake and my blood pressure would have risen quite a bit in the last 5 minutes, but there was some really good signs. Played some really good rugby, put ourselves in good position on the field. So I'm happy where we are as far as that's concerned. Like I said earlier, at one stage we're just relying on our set piece, but we've actually got the ball through the hands on a couple of occasions today, and we looked really dangerous. So yeah, I'm pleased where we're at the moment.
Simon?
Thank you, Jimani. Hard luck, and probably the last question about the form of the Sharks. You've just alluded to the fact that you and Jake share the same sentiments as far as is concerned, and there's more rugby to come next year as well. Perhaps fairly, unfairly, and perhaps a conundrum out there. The Sharks, the team with the most potential and the most underperforming team in South Africa at the moment. Would you say that is fair, unfair, or do you allude to the fact that there is more to discover and more to develop as far as your team and your franchise is concerned?
Yeah, if you can just be specific about underperforming, because that's a broad topic, because rugby has a lot of variables in it.
Simon?
Yeah, the underperformance, obviously relating to bringing the game to a conclusion, and pundits obviously relating to what has happened in the Currie Cup as well as in the URC, that you have the potential, you have the Springboks, you have the division.
Yeah, unfortunately, we at times maybe in the game, we haven't performed as well as we liked. There's certain aspects of the game that we need to improve on. Like I said, the pre-season will certainly help us build towards that. I think the team's done exceptionally well under the circumstances where, we've had 3 defense coaches, 3 attack coaches, and without a pre-season, and the job's actually been done quite smoothly. So yeah, there's certain things that we obviously need to improve on. We know what they are, and they're all fixable. Like I said, if it was a team that didn't show character today, then I'd be extremely concerned. But it's a team that wants to learn. It's a team that wants to play for the jersey, and a team that's proud to be at the Shark.
Last question, Nathan?
Thank you again. Coach, just touching on the 50-player cap. What would the solution be? I mean, you did mention you'd be having a chat to SA Rugby about it. I mean, of course, your opinion would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, the salary cap thing, unfortunately, it's out of our hands as coaches. But I mean, I'm just using an example like today, when you've got a Currie Cup game in Durban and you've got a URC game in Pretoria, and you only allowed 50 players, and bearing in mind that at some stage there will be players that are injured, and there will be 9 Springboks going to Springbok camp tomorrow, and the URC starts again. It becomes a numbers game. You know, if you do your maths, we don't have enough players. So that's what I'm trying to say. It's something that obviously will have to be discussed, and a solution will have to be come to.
Thank you so much, ladies and gents. Coach Sean, thank you very much, and all the best going forward.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Sean.
Thank you.